As I told you guys before, I always have the best guests on my program, and the gentleman that's sitting in front of my camera is no exception to that statement. I'm here with the legendary Paul Kupperberg. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me and my audience. So, please tell my audience, how did you start your love affair with comics?
I don't know. They were just always there in my life, and I grew up with them. I had an older brother who read comics, and an uncle who was only a few years older than me, who lived next door, who read comics. So they were just there. And then I discovered Superman on TV in the old 1940s cartoons that ran on a kids show I watched, and I fell in love with that character. And then in 1965, I read a story, The Flash of Two Worlds, which was the story that kind of introduced the multiverse into comics. And the events of that story took place, according to the newspaper they showed in the story, on June 14th, which was my birthday. And when I realized that the multiverse had been born on my birthday, I was done. I was just a fan for life.
That's cool. It's good to be a summer baby because you're always going to look young. You're living proof. That's a good thing. So, what was your very first major writing assignment?
I guess it would be the new Doom Patrol in 1977, which really tells you how old I am. We revived a superhero group that had last been published, I think, in 1968, and brought that back. Didn't work at the time, but we brought it back again in the 80s, and the characters caught on a bit then, and has since gone on to become a television show and pretty popular. So,
okay, that's cool, man. So I noticed you have some books on your table. So besides writing comics, I noticed you have direct comments, writing comments, Ragnarok, and Supertown. So are these all your independently owned properties?
Yeah, they are. I write Direct Comments is a book of interviews that I did around 1990 for a DC Comics publication, Direct Currents, which was a comic shop handout. And so I found a bunch of the old interviews on a floppy disk and was able to, this was two years ago, I was able to salvage them and edit them and, footnote them and put them out in a book. And I've since followed that up with another book called Direct Conversations, which I've sold out of, thankfully, where I talked to the people I got into the business with in the mid-'70s. So I talked to Paul Levitz and Tony Isabella and Michael Uslan and Tony Tolan, just all people from all various aspects of the industry that I knew from way back when. And we talk about how the industry changed at that time and the people that we came in and worked with, the legends that we worked with and eventually replaced.
Was there ever an assignment you had to refuse? Because I know you're not going to take every assignment. Was it like, you know what, I better pass on that because I know that's not for me and I know it's not going to work out?
I've been very lucky. No, I've never really had to do that. I've been fortunate in being offered a decent assignment. And frankly, unless they really sucked, it's like, you can always write for the money. Doesn't mean you do bad writing. You always, I always like to say, and in fact, it's the name of another one of my books, is I never write for the money, but I always turn in the manuscript for the check. So, you put your best effort into everything you write, no matter what you're writing it for, whether it's for, love or money.
Okay. So, if somebody wanted to reach out to you for work, what's the best way for them to go about it?
Well, they can go to my website at paulkupperberg.net. In fact, they can, here's the QR code that they can scan, and it'll take them directly to paulkupperberg.net. There you go.
All right. Well, you heard what the man said. You want to talk to Paul, reach out to him. Best way is to go paulkupperberg.com. Paul, thank you so much for .net. Well, it says .com.
Oh, my God, that's wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, like Paul said, if you want to reach out to him, go to paulkupperberg.net. That's the best way to get to him. Paul, thank you so much for your time. Keep kicking ass and taking no prisoners.
Thanks. Been fun.
All right. That's a wrap, guys. Until next time. Bye bye.